Okay, don't ever skip this step right here. What a kook! I almost just launched it. There she is. Rookie mistake. 66 yards, gotta dial it in. Welcome to Boarman TV. Sick. I'm your host, Danny Bolton. First couple of videos here on YouTube. We're driving up to the farm right now. We're gonna bust out the new bow, the Mach 33. Had it for a little while. We shot that commercial out in Montana, and had to kind of keep it under wraps for the last couple months, but now we can kind of show it. So I'm just gonna shoot it, kind of walk you through what I like about it. Been shooting PSE for a while, and then we're gonna hopefully get into a little bit of pigs this afternoon. So just gonna do a little sighting in, get used to shooting some longer distances. I can only shoot probably 30 yards at my house, and then I got to sight in the broadheads too. I haven't shot any broadheads out of it yet, so we're gonna sight in the broadheads and then go for a little walk for some pigs. Kind of new to the YouTube scene here, filming on my phone right here. It's a little weird. I gotta figure out where to look so I can look right in the camera, I guess. But if I look over here, I can kind of see myself. This is gonna be fun. Kind of kooking it, just filming myself, but it's pretty cool. I don't mind sharing some of the stuff, and love trying to inspire people to get out. And I found bow hunting late in my life, so you know, there's a lot of other people out there who are interested and kind of just need that little push, or just want a little bit more information. And I can just tell you what I've learned, and a lot of it I've kind of just learned the hard way. So well, let's go shoot. Okay, up here at the farm, let's just get all our stuff out and get some shooting in. These first couple of videos are probably going to be pretty long, or I'll just walk you through everything like going on. It's a little hard to do stuff one-handed, huh? But man, we just gotta boost that view time. Then we can start getting paid. That's what I'm talking about. And we're not even gonna take the money. I'm gonna give away all the money that I make from YouTube until we hit maybe 10,000 subscribers. I don't know, 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers. You guys let me know what you think. We're gonna blow this thing up, and the cool thing is we're gonna do good with it. We interrupt your video for this important news bulletin. We're gonna give away a Boarman shirt. We hit 100 subscribers. That was the goal for the giveaway, and the way we're just gonna do it is you gotta comment on this video, and I'm just gonna go through those comments and pick a winner. Probably put it into one of those cool little lottery machines on the internet. And then next up, we're gonna give away a Montana Knife Company knife. What? Can't decide if it's gonna be 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers when we're gonna give it away, but why don't you just let me know down below. Like and subscribe, smashing buttons. What? We're gonna give away skateboards. We're gonna give away bows. Hopefully the kids who need them, keep them active, keep them from just getting in trouble. So that's what I've always found for myself, is just keeping myself busy. And that's the best for me. So let's see, get this set up right there. Cool. We got the target. Let's see, back there. So we'll go shoot some, I don't know, probably 50 yards to start. Okay, let's see this bad boy here. Actually, let's just pull this whole thing out. There she is. There she is. Okay, so brand new Mach 33 carbon. I was shooting the Mach 30 before this one, and it's very similar. Obviously the axle to axle is 33 and not 30, which just gives you a little bit different string angle on your face. So what I mean by that is the 30 inch is a little bit smaller, right? So that the string, when you pull the string back, the string's a little bit more like this. So when you bring it back to your face and you anchor it, sometimes I just gotta lean in just a little bit to get my nose to touch the string. Whereas the 33s, axle to axle is a little bit more wide like this, and then it kind of just fits right there. Tip of your nose, the corner of your mouth. And if you don't know really what I'm talking about, it's like when you draw back and you anchor, those are the touch points on your bow. Is you want that string coming down and just touching the tip of your nose and the corner of your mouth, and anchor point always in the same place. That'll give you that consistency for shooting. So it's also just super smooth. You know, I don't want to say that the 30 wasn't smooth, but this 33 is so quiet and just so smooth when you shoot it. So honestly, the first thing I noticed was how quiet it is. So we'll let me dig out some arrows right here and we'll get shooting. So let's see here. I brought some broadheads, and then those are all got some broadheads, and then all these field points right here. So we'll just shoot right here. Okay, let's see where we're at. 66 yards right here. 66 yards. First shots here. We'll do, I got 4 arrows, so we're gonna group 4 arrows. Just maybe, I don't know how good the audio is gonna be, but just try to pay attention to how quiet this thing is. And yeah, you won't be able to feel how smooth it is. Only I will know how smooth it is, but here we go. Okay, anchored up. Oh, boys. Almost blew it right there. Look at that. Rookie mistake. 66 yards. Got to dial it in. Boom. Oh, what a kook. What a kook. I almost just launched it. Let's see. I was at 20 yards. Dude, that would have been bad. I would have just shot that thing right in the dirt. Okay, here we go. 66 yards. Smooth, buttery. I just love it. It's just such a fun bow to shoot. EC2 cams on it. The way I got it set up, I have this ultraview sight with the Picatinny rail. That rail, you can also flip it. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can flip it one way or the other to kind of adjust it further away or closer. So it does have some adjustment there. You can flip that upside down. Then also has the integrated rest right here. Loving that. So let's see, 66 yards. I know it's not very exciting to watch me shoot. The last one I kind of held for a little while, but it felt good. Okay, I want to give you guys a real live update right here. Not live, but a real group down there. No bullshit. Even if it's bad, it's all good. A lot of the archer, sadly, is me. So it's not just the bow, it's the archer that's got to perform. And 66 yards is no joke. When I'm practicing good, usually it takes me a little bit to warm up. Honestly, sadly, like you'd think as a hunter, you'd want that first arrow good. You do want that first arrow to be the best one. And I try my best for sure in a hunting situation. But when I practice, usually my third or fourth groups are honestly a little bit better. So just gives my body time to warm up. Okay, let's run down there. Let's see how we did. 66 yards, 4 arrows, no BS, good or bad. I don't know how shaky this is. I'll take it easy so you guys don't get seasick here on me. Looking like we're pretty good. I don't know, shooting a little bit low, which must just be me. Kind of got my 3 arrows grouped right here, and then we got 1 up here a little bit closer to the center. Sometimes that's just how it is. You just maybe gripping the bow a little bit different, or my anchor point maybe wasn't the best. So let's pull these and get some more shots. Okay, let's just jump right back into it. Back to 66 yards. I want to shoot another group. I want to know why I'm shooting so low. I'm just gonna try, make sure my anchor point is perfect. And I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about how smooth it is. I know I already talked to you about how smooth it is, but what do I mean by that? So what I mean is the whole draw process, when I'm drawing back, that whole process is nice and smooth. Sometimes you have something that are super hard and then they get super easy. This thing does have a good let off, but just that whole process is so smooth. And then when I shoot, I'm not getting a bunch of vibration through my hand when you shoot. Some bows, when you shoot it, wha-bah, and you feel it's a wham. So this one, just buttery. I know maybe that doesn't come across on screen, but maybe it will. Let's give it a whack here. Buttery. Don't mind my little wobbles. Okay. Boom. I've been shooting, maybe I flip it around like this. So you see that in there? I've been shooting a 1 pin where the pin is right up the middle and there's a little fluorescent dot on the top. I've been shooting those 1 pins for a long time, and probably the last 3 years, honestly, and you kind of got to dial in your yards. The last one I had 2 pins on the single vertical post. In a hunting scenario, I've always thought a 5 pin was by far the most effective thing. That's what I started with. And I sighted it in for 20 yards through 60 yards. That's 5 pins. That way, if that animal moves in that hunting scenario, you can adjust it. What I eventually ended up going to was I sighted in that first pin for 30 yards and then the last pin for 70. So I could have the little bit more range shooting 70 yards. And that was mainly just for target practice. And then if I was at 20 yards or in closer, I would use my 30 pin, but I was always just aim low. Well, now that I got this sight, I can actually dial it to whatever I want, right? Like I got the tape right here. So I can actually dial it and use that middle pin for 20 yards all the way out to probably about 100 yards. It dials further, but you got to watch out for your arrow hitting your sight right here. But what I have now is I have the best of both worlds, because when I dial this to 40 yards, which is right here, dialed to 40 yards, I have 4 pins actually. See the very bottom one too? So the first 3, I got 30, 40, 50, which pretty much covers me for any hunting. Like I really try to get in within 50 yards. I don't want to shoot further than that. So those 3 pins pretty much cover me. And if it's 20, I'm gonna aim a little bit low. I should really not have to adjust this in a hunting scenario, but there are those times where I'm feeling real good, steady, and I want to take a little bit longer shot. I found out with the way this sight is set up with my bow, my draw length and weight, that bottom pin, because that one's not adjustable, it's set, when I set that middle pin at 40, that bottom pin ends up being 62 yards. I figured that out the other day. So I also have a 62 yard pin, but when you're further away like that, usually you can take the time, because you're not as close to the animal, you can range them and you have time to dial it, and your movements aren't as big of a deal because you're further away. So I've really been loving this 3-pin sight, and also having the ability to shoot longer distances while I practice, even though I'm not going to hunt from those longer distances. When I'm practicing from, let's say, 66 yards right now, and if we get into some pigs today at 30 yards, you know that I'm going to feel confident taking that 30-yard shot, because I've been shooting from twice that distance. Love that. And then it's cool, this integrated like Picatinny rail. I feel pretty confident about being able to take that off if I need to travel, and then put it right back where I'm always going to check my bow when I get to wherever I'm traveling to. Obviously, you're not going to take your rest off, but the way these rests are put on here now, I just like, they're so locked in. I feel like they're not going to move as much. And of course, just got to stabilize. Another group here, 66 yards. Still about 1.5 inches low and a little bit left. We're still fine tuning that sight, but I like that at 66. So the next step, we're just gonna shoot some from close, maybe 30, 40 yards. Make sure we're dialed in there. And then I need to shoot a broadhead and make sure the broadheads are good. And then we can go look for some pigs. All right, let's see. 40 yards. Perfect. So let's shoot from 40. And I'm gonna get that sight set kind of exactly how I want it when I'm walking around hunting, which is that middle pin set right at 40, right at 40 yards. So I use that middle pin from here, and then I'll also have the 30-yard pin and the 50-yard pin. And then if I really need to, I have that very low one that's 62 yards. So I'm gonna shoot from here, make sure my 40 is, even though I was shooting a little low at 66, and then we're gonna shoot this broadhead. So let's get 4 arrows at 40 yards, and then we'll test that broadhead out. Interesting. Okay, don't ever skip this step right here. Shooting a broadhead, the broadhead that you're gonna shoot out of the bow. Yeah, if your bow's tuned beautifully, you're not gonna have much difference between your broadheads and your field points, but I always shoot the broadheads I'm actually gonna hunt with and test them all. They've gotten a lot better, but these severs, and these are made to expand. These are an expandable broadhead. I put the little screw in there so it doesn't expand in my target and shred it all up, but just gotta test it. We're gonna test it from 40. I know I'm shooting pretty good from 40 with the fuel points. So now I just gotta send one broadhead, make sure we're good. I might shoot it a couple times. I really am gonna focus my energy in making sure that this first shot with the broadhead is money. Even though I always try every shot to focus, I'm gonna extra focus on this one. Okay, let me just double check my range here. Yep, 40. So hopefully, I mean, if I can get within 40 yards on an animal, oh man, we're living the dream. That is like, even though some of these pigs, honestly, the kill zone's kind of small. At least maybe on some of the smaller pigs too. Their lungs and their heart and stuff, they're not very big. They're not a very big animal. Okay, 40 yards. Here we go. Let's see. Just want to double check this. Right in the middle. Bullseye this thing. Little bit of wobbles, so let's go take a check. You know, you got to trust the float. When I say the float, you got your sight on your target, save as the tip of my nose, but your sight's kind of floating around a little bit, and you don't want to just like right when it gets on it, just like shoot. You know, you kind of want to let it float and just trust it and just slowly pull. And in a hunting scenario, sometimes you just got to send it right when you're on the goods, but I was kind of like drifting around a lot more than I wanted to on that. Just haven't been shooting as much, but here we are, 40 yards. That, we're talking about maybe an inch, maybe a little bit more than an inch left. And honestly, I was shooting a little bit left with the field points. So I'm gonna go back to shooting field points and just maybe try to work that little bit of left out. And the way I'm gonna do that is if I'm shooting left, when I'm looking at my bow, I'll go get my bow. So let me explain it to you with my bow. Okay, back to what I was talking about scooting it to the left. So if I'm holding my bow right here and the target's down there and I shot to the left, right? I'm gonna scoot my sight to the left. So what I'm gonna do is, if you're shooting left, scoot your sight to the left to correct it. Because if you think about it, if you're holding it right here, and you scoot your sight further this way, then you're gonna bring your bow this way, which is to the right, to bring that sight where you want to shoot. So if you're shooting high, you scoot your sight up. If you're shooting low, you scoot your sight low. Left, right, same thing. So I'm shooting to the left. I'm gonna scoot my sight a little bit to the left. And the way you do it on this sight is you just pull this little tab out right here, this little dial, and then I can see these lines. It's gonna be hard to see, but there's lines right here, and I can just start turning it and see which way it goes. So basically, if I'm trying to go this direction, I want to see those lines start coming out this way. So here we go. I'm gonna count the numbers I dial it. So 1, 2, 3, let's go 3 clicks, okay? And I did start by turning it the right direction. So 3 clicks to the left. Let's shoot some fuel points. I'm gonna stack 3 right in the center, 40 yards, and then we'll get an average. We wanna base our groups off of averages and groups. And then we'll go back to shooting that broadhead. So let's stack 3 in there. Loving that. That view's always the best, over the shoulder where you can see the arrow fly. Not sure if we're capturing it, but I always love that. Here's my 3 arrows at 40 yards. Okay, this one right here is still a touch left, but I shot 2 more. and they're right on the line. So I'm gonna stick with that. I did 3 clicks, even though that first one was just a little bit left. I like where those other 2 are, and that's why we shoot groups. So I'm happy with that. I think let's shoot the broadhead again, and then maybe let's drop some long bombs with the fuel points. 40 yards, broadhead again. Thing's pretty sick. It's like got that gimbal. It's following me around. Look at this. Still just a touch left, but I'm gonna leave it. Sometimes it's best not to just go adjusting. I was shooting good the other day, so maybe something with my form or something, or I don't know, but we're close enough. That I like that. So it's starting to rain. I would like to shoot from like 80, 90, and then we'll get to some hunting. It's 4 o'clock right now. It's still a little early. Sometimes the pigs come out this early, but mainly more like 5 o'clock and on, that hour and a half before sunset. So let's get a couple more shots before it really starts raining. Check out these peahens. So female peacocks right here. Just kicking it. Oh, they heard me. I was hoping they'd call back. Man, they have a crazy call that they do. We are gonna drop one shot from a long ways away. And actually, you know what, let's do this. Let's, a little hard with one hand because I'm trying to hold this camera. We're gonna dial this thing as low as we can until that sight housing is almost hitting that arrow. So like right about there. It won't catch the fletching. That won't catch the fletching right there. That's 90, what is that? 98 yards right there. I'm pretty, might be a little close. We're gonna shoot 98 yards. Let's find out where that's at. Okay, lock that in. Oh, okay. Honestly, can barely even see the target back there. So if this isn't 98 right here, I'm kind of gonna be bummed because I'm starting to go downhill and I can't see the target anymore. So let's see. Let's get this rangefinder out. Okay, here we go. 98. What are we at? You won't believe it. 98.1. It's almost like I've shot here before. I knew I could get 100 yards, but I think I had to scoot the target further back. So 98 yards. Let's see where we're at. I'm gonna set you guys down here in the weeds. Okay, wish me luck. Awesome. So all in all, carbon, Mach 33, 2025. Love the way it shoots. Love the way it draws. Super quiet. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just amping on how quiet it is, especially for axis deer and stuff. I just feel like that's going to be so rad for them not jumping the string. And maybe you know, some places I can get more than one animal. So if I shoot one and there's more standing there, I might be able to get a couple more. The carbon bows, from what I've felt so far from the aluminum, are a little bit quieter, a little bit softer. Like I was talking about, that smoothness. I really haven't had it in super cold temperatures yet, but I've heard that the carbon isn't as cold on the hands compared to the aluminum. I shot the aluminum bows forever, and the last one I had was an Omen. I love that thing. That thing was so fast. Okay, here's where we're at. So 98 yards and I'm about 5 inches low. That's the story of today. I've been shooting low and I might need to look into that. I'm gonna probably shoot again next couple days and see if that's the consistent theme, and then I'll go ahead and adjust it. For today, I know that I'm gonna try to get close for some hunting scenarios. I'll be okay with that a little bit low, but moving into the future, I want that baby just dialed. So I'll shoot groups at like 98, 100 yards, but I'm okay at that. If we were playing shoot to eat, I'd be eating breakfast. So cool. That concludes our target practice with the Mach 33. Made in the USA. That's pretty sick, honestly. Tucson, Arizona. I love that. So American manufacturing, and just what a great country. And to build stuff in our country is just amazing. We got to keep more of it. So let's get it. I just shot that same shot, 98 yards. I cheated a little bit. I added 1 yard since I've been shooting low. So I had the sight at 99, but I was 98 yards. Shot a little film for the Instagrams and just pretty much bullseyed it like an inch high. Smooth and quiet. Look at this. That was 98 yards. I'm an inch high. Just so stoked. Like both left to right was good, but yeah, just ready to go hunt. Now I'm just psyching. God, it's just like so good to have that confidence at that distance, and then go into trying to find a pig at 30, 40 yards. So get the quiver on here. Honestly, usually I practice with the quiver. So you're practicing how you're hunting, which I didn't on this one. Kooking it. Kind of wanted you to be able to see the new bow and not this quiver. So get this quiver on here. Just kind of making sure all that rubber on that thing's, so I'm getting weird vibrations. That's from this arrows. I got to make sure they're in there all the way. So yeah, boom. Ready to go hunt. Just got to throw some of these boots on right here to get out of these slippers. So, and then we'll get out there. Let's see here.